Hi YouTube, welcome to the channel. My name is Clint Hightower, Engineer Boy 100. Today's video is an awesome treat I think some of you will really appreciate. It's on the BMW X3M competition again, and of course our Achilles heel, the drivetrain. So we did a video previously of how to support the OEM driveshaft with the JXB carrier support, and that's an excellent solution for the OEM driveshaft. But for those who are going to the next level in horsepower, 800 to 1200 range, you need something a little bit more. And today I'm going to show you what I believe to be the absolute best solution. I've done months of research, and I think I've found the lightest, strongest, and best looking solution available on the market today. And used in combination with the Bolt Saver Bushings, it is the strongest, the quietest, and the lightest available, and it's absolutely beautiful. I've got one for you guys. I'm going to show you right now. It's outside in the box, just delivered. Okay, I'm going to go get the box, pop it open, and show you what we've got. Then I'm going to explain to you all of the benefits of using that drive shaft, the benefits of using the Bolt Saver bushings, and how I actually designed them to mitigate sound, even though I use much harder polymers than some other soft bushings that still produce noise. Our system is famous for being super strong and always adding zero noise, vibration, and harshness, the initials NVH that you may see around. So let's go out, open up that box, I'll show you what we got. Okay, out of the box it came very well protected with foam all around. So we're going to take that off and take a look at the drive shaft. All right, so we just opened it up. As you can see, it's very well covered in foam. It's very well protected. It came with zero damage. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at it, and let's explain some of the benefits of why it's awesome to use, even if you don't have a high horsepower vehicle. One-piece drive shaft is a very awesome selection, and I'm putting it on my vehicle. And voila, there we have it, unboxed. This drive shaft looks amazing. The build quality is outstanding, and I am so excited and can't wait to install it. Stay tuned. I'm going to go through all the details, the advantages, and how to use something like this to maximize your power advantage and do it silently. Okay, so you guys seen some of the eye candy. So I'm going to go over some of the benefits of having a one-piece drive shaft, and particularly this one-piece drive shaft. We'll start from one end to the other. Let's start with actually the splines, because it's really important. The important details I want to point out about the splines. The splines, as many of us know, on the OEM drive shaft require adhesive. Okay, it's a really critical point I want to highlight so that's perfectly clear. Now, on the full torque drive shaft, you do not put adhesive. You do not put adhesive, okay? You put grease, and here's why. The splines are cut at a different dimension. They're tighter than OEM. There's no slop in between the splines like OEM has, so it doesn't need adhesive to keep the splines from rotating a little bit in their mesh like so. Additionally, the splines in the full torque little head for where the female goes is longer, so it bottoms out when it mounts to the differential. So there's no room for it to move. So once you tighten down that, torque down that nut, it stays put. And so you don't need adhesive. So you're never going to have the adhesive clunk. You're never going to have the adhesive failure because there's no adhesive there, and it's solidly mounted the way it should be. In my opinion, the OEM drive shaft should be. So there's not going to be any movement, and you don't have to worry about that issue anymore. That issue goes away. So that, to me, was a huge, huge benefit for anybody at any horsepower, making that issue go away. So moving on, just a little bit ways down the drive shaft, you have the universal joint. There's one at each end. They're serviceable. Those universal joints in the one-piece drive shaft can be replaced if one ever goes bad. OEM drive shaft universal joints are not replaceable. They're not serviceable. If a universal joint goes out, you got to replace the whole drive shaft. Okay, so that's another bad one. Additionally, you'll never have to worry about replacing the carrier bearing because it's the one piece, so it doesn't have a carrier bearing. So you will never have to worry about that noise, and that is one of the main reasons that the single piece drive shaft is quieter. Not no added noise, vibration, and harshness, but less vibration and harshness than OEM because there's no carrier bearing making any noise at all. It's completely silent. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, of course, as you can see, it's much stronger than OEM. Number 4, it's much lighter than OEM, and consequently, because of it being lighter and having no brakes in it to introduce phantom movement, it actually adds more horsepower. 3 to 5 more horsepower does it add. And in adding that horsepower, it does it more directly because there's no slop. There's zero slop. So that's another benefit. Because of that, you're going to get your drivetrain is going to be more responsive. You're going to have better throttle response, and you're going to have a more responsive engine. Your engine is going to be able to respond more quickly when you tap the throttle. So it's just a much more pleasant driving experience. Ask me how I know. And one other benefit of this drive shaft is it looks amazing. It's beautiful. It's eye candy. It's freaking car jewelry. It's unfortunate, though, there is one negative that I'll tell you about at the very end that actually irritates me to no end. It's the absolute worst characteristic that I discovered when reviewing this drive shaft. And I'll tell you what that is a little later. So next, I want to explain to you how the Bolt Saver bushings work and how they keep everything quiet. Okay. I designed the Bolt Saver bushings to dissipate sound on 3 different levels. When sound is generated from the differential, the first place it hits when in relation to the bushing, the first place it hits is the bolt, the mount bolt, which is metal. Okay, so we have a metal insert for strength, and then we have a carbon fiber section of the bushing that is softer than the metal, but in tension, it's stronger than the metal. But it changes the wavelength of the sound. The sound wavelength in the metal is a higher frequency than in the carbon fiber, and that's why we add that as a component. Additionally, the polymer component on the outside has 2 components to it, and it is not solid, and it is not the same density all the way through. The flange is a different density than the sides, okay? And the sides has a custom proprietary mesh design inside with an air gap. So now it has air gap and a different frequency than the carbon fiber. So it distorts the sound wave coming from the bolt to the insert through the carbon fiber to the polymer. And then in order for you to hear that sound, that sound wave has to go through the metal carriage. And that's why to the human ear, you never hear anything out of our bushings. None of our bushings make any sound at all whatsoever. So Bolt Saver Plus, Bolt Saver 2, and Bolt Saver transfer case all add 0 noise, vibration, or harshness. Okay, now the bushings, in addition to not making any noise, I mean super, super strong, and that's why I'm able to use a much harder polymer, is because of the design of the internal mesh design that I put inside the polymer. Okay, so my polymer is actually harder. Durometer 94. Okay, some go 70, some have to go 80, some even 90. I go 94. So that's why my bushings are stronger, but yet quieter than softer bushings. Okay, how do they protect everything? I'll show you in a nutshell because I know I'm getting long-winded. Bolt Saver 2 in the back keeps the rear bushing from going side to side with torque or up and down with torque. Okay, it keeps that from moving this way. Bolt Saver Plus in the front is double flanged, around its housing to keep that rear bushing, the soft OEM bushing rubber, from going front to back, giving you a clunk this way or damaging the transfer case. It also keeps the drive shaft from going back and forth by keeping the differential from going front and back, and that protects the drive shaft splines. So if you're using an OEM drive shaft, it's going to protect your splines, and if you use a one-piece drive shaft, these are going to super isolate the sound, so you're going to have zero noise, vibration, and harshness with OEM drive shaft. You're going to have zero noise, vibration, and harshness with a one-piece drive shaft. Okay, and they also protect, of course, the bolts from bending, okay, or breaking. And this makes the combination of the Bolt Savers and the full torque drive shaft the absolute perfect solution for these awesome BMWs. I mean, they have great engines, great transmissions. The performance is just mind-blowing. I can't even tell you how happy I am even to be alive at this point in history to be able to enjoy these amazing vehicles. But the weak point, their Achilles heel, is their drivetrain. And this solution practically makes these cars perfect. So that's why we've partnered, and I'm very proud to say that Wrench Fix Solutions is fully endorsing and supports the full torque drive shaft line, and we partnered up and went together. They gave you an excellent solution to the BMW drivetrain issue. All right, you made it to the end. So I'm going to tell you what I hate about this drive shaft. This drive shaft is so beautiful, so amazingly gorgeously eye candy. It's a shame that when you install it, you can't see it. And that's what I hate. I hate the fact that we can't see these beautiful drive shafts because they're up under the floor. And that's about it. Stay tuned for the next video next weekend when we actually install it, and I'll show you the installation video and how to put it in. It's pretty straightforward actually, compared to other installations. It's not hard at all. You can get your torques right and a couple other little minor details, but we'll be going over every detail in detail of how you should correctly install this amazing drive shaft, and you won't even need to use any adhesive. So stay tuned for that. We'll be doing the installation video, and then the following weekend I will be doing the drive testing for performance, for feel, for vibration, for sound, for all the details people are going to want to know about how this drive shaft feels, how it rides. You can't do how it looks, as you heard. But yeah, stay tuned for all that good stuff, and hopefully this solves a lot of people's problems with the drivetrain. So as you can see, this drive shaft is absolutely amazing. It offers a host of benefits, and combined with the Bolt Saver Bushings, in my opinion, it's the absolute best solution at this price point, bar none. Dollar for dollar, it is the best solution I think that's available. So this is something that you're interested in. It's going to be available on our website. You can also go to the Full Torque Driveshaft website and order them. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.